So as we know, internet sensation Bonnie Blue filmed herself supposedly having intimacy with 1057 men in just under 12 hours. Turns out that this was too much even for the degenerate platform OF, and they've actually ended up banning her video from the platform. That's right, OF decided that Bonnie was actually way too slutty, way too degenerate for their platform. Imagine that. Imagine being OF and deciding that that's just too much for you. So we're gonna be talking about that. Was this all in vain? Did she actually sleep? The poor fool, she's a millionaire, with 1057 men in 12 hours for absolutely nothing. I also have a clip of her mom saying how she helps her. I have a bunch of things to share with you guys today. So before we get there, hi and welcome back. Please subscribe to my channel, give me your likes and give me your comments. Let's get into it. So you've heard that right. OF has actually decided that Bonnie Blue was too degenerate even for them. And their actual positioning on this was based on the fact that they did not want to allow such a huge amount of people who weren't also OF creators to partake in the platform. Meaning that we've all seen those girls that with their boyfriends or with random hookups, they film for the OFs. I guess that's allowed because it's like 1 or 2 people, but when it comes to 1057 people, it just ends up being way too many non-OF creators. But the main actual reason that they've listed, and I assume this is actually the main thing, is the fact that they can't actually verify the ages or the names or the backgrounds of all these 1057 men, which makes absolute sense because all Bonnie and her team did was film these guys with a picture of their IDs, as if fake IDs were not a thing. I don't know how it is in England because the drinking age there is 18 if I'm not mistaken, but at least in the States the drinking age is 21, and we all know nobody's waiting till 21, and actually it's extremely common to have a fake ID from 16 and up, and it would not surprise me that it's also very common in England to have a fake ID. And given the fact that she's somebody who's constantly preying on the barely legal, she's constantly pushing this idea that she wants to sleep with as many 18-year-olds as possible. Can you imagine how many of these 18 and 19-year-olds have friends in the same age range, or, you know, they're like 17 or so, and they also didn't want to miss out, and all they had to do was get a fake ID to be part of this degenerate line? I mean, that guy Ali that shared about his experience, the one that you guys all made fun of, he said, he's 42, but he said that most of the guys in the line were like in their early 20s or, you know, late teens. So I bet there's so many of these guys that were like 17 and just got a fake ID to partake. It's also very interesting to wonder what it would be like if it was the other way around. Imagine if this was actually a man, a 25, 26-year-old man who was praying, who was constantly saying he wants to sleep with as many barely legal teens as possible, and then actually film himself doing it without strictly checking for their age. The world would entirely end. There's no way OF would allow this. There's no way feminists would allow this. They would demand that this person be taken to prison, etc. But because it's the other way around, nobody seems to care, and at least OF has taken the video down, but they still have her on the platform. She brings in way too much revenue, and we all know if it was the other way around, they would have banned the man completely. Talking about banning, we know that Lily Phillips, the girl that was inspired by her ex-friend Bonnie Blue to do this challenge as well, she ended up doing her own video, the 100 men in a day challenge, the one that she ends up crying after. She ended up doing that at a rented Airbnb. I don't know how she's that dumb. At least Bonnie Blue did it at somebody's house that the owner allowed her to do it at, but Lily Phillips literally rented an Airbnb and she filmed herself doing that on Airbnb, and she's actually gotten banned from Airbnb forever. So there is some sort of normalcy, hopefully, some sort of justice that's being enforced upon these girls. The point here is that these women care about absolutely nobody but themselves, or these kind of people really, because there are plenty of men like this as well. They don't care about anyone they're disrespecting. They don't care about the message they're sending to others. They don't care about other people's businesses. They only care about their own fame, their own money, and their own success, if you can call that success. Let's check out some tweets. We've got here Arako TV, who's a YouTuber I like, and he says, OF banned Bonnie Blue's video after she slept with 1,000 men, meaning it must be next level disgusting considering what they already allow. And to top it off, it means she did it for basically nothing. What a muppet. I mean, I do think it's very, very telling, the fact that a page like OF would delete her video, given that they have all sorts of weird things. I'm telling you, things like a mom and her daughter, a girl and her twin sister, like any sort of degenerate thing you can imagine that's legal that you can find in there. So it really is telling. But at the end of the day, sadly, it's not even that she did it for nothing, because she did gain a lot of publicity and a lot of subscriptions as a result from this stunt. And of course, she keeps making millions every month. I also like this one that says, OF creator Bonnie Blue's video for the record of having 1057 different men in 12 hours has been banned. Oops. And something else that's extremely important regarding the Bonnie Blue and the Lily Phillips gang rape situation, or pretending like they're having some sort of gang rape situation, is the fact that not everybody is from the same part of the world. Not everybody sees these things in the same way. There are plenty of people that are paying for, I mean, if you're paying for this kind of content, you're already a degenerate. There's something wrong with you 100%. But there's plenty of people who are buying this content who are pretty effed up in the head. And many of them are from different countries and different religions and different backgrounds, and God knows if they even have some sort of criminal past or whatever it is. Maybe not, but they're just from a different part of the world that sees Western women and Western relationships in a very different way. And when they see things like this, I mean, they already see them as different. I know this from experience, but then they see these kind of videos and they pay for these kind of videos, and they see a woman supposedly enjoying having intimacy with 1057 men in 12 hours in, in the same table basically, and they're thinking like, oh, Western women are really are different. They really must enjoy this. Let's all get together and do this. Let's pick up a random woman off the street and do this to her because deep down she's going to enjoy it. And that's why I think it's so extremely disturbing and problematic for women to do these kind of things. And it's an interesting question because I don't know if it's something that should be illegal or not, because on one hand I do believe in people's freedom and liberty to decide to do whatever it is, even if it comes at their detriment. But on the other hand, it does make me think that these people, whether the women doing this or the men, are pretty dangerous for society. And I'm not sure that they should just have the freedom to do whatever they want. And we also know that Bonnie has influenced other women after her. She's influencing plenty of younger women who want to be OF stars. She's influenced Lily Phillips about the world record thing. Like, she's the one that actually got her to do the 100 men, and then, after the 1,000, which I'm assuming now that Bonnie got her video banned, I don't think she'll be able to do the 1,000 either. And she also influenced this woman in Turkey who declared that she was going to sleep with 100 men in a day and got arrested. And that brings me back to that same point. Like, I don't know if women or people should be getting arrested for these things, but at the same time, it does take a stronger society to be like, you're not doing this, young woman, and all these men, you're not doing this either. So it's definitely food for thought, and I'd like to hear your comments in the comment section. So I also wanted to share this with you. All men should cheat on their wives. Let's hear her out.
Better partner, because then you can come home, deal with your wife's whinging, you can get on with looking after the kids, and you can still do that part of your life, but you're just sneaking off elsewhere to get pleasured.
Oh, I don't like what you're saying
this is
at
for people.
all.
This is for
and
people.
You're a woman.
This is for people that aren't happy
wife.
necessarily.
It's like if they're going to work and doing a hard day shift, they need to be treated. And if the women aren't doing that,
you just think women should service men, and it's all about like them being happy when they come home from work.
so you should be listening to my advice now. Say
Your
go
advice
home, put some
is
nice
so
underwear on.
ridiculous.
Are you guys going to kiss?
I can't believe the shit that is coming out of your mouth. Honestly, it's so pick me. Are you that
I don't need to be
desperate for
pick me.
attention?
I am already been chosen. Like, I am the main character.
Yeah.
I'm sat here and you're calling up from what? Your car? To your husbands and their partners, they pay my bills and my family's bills and have made me a millionaire. So
That one day when you get married and fall in love, you could be giving him all the sex in the world, and he still may cheat on you.
see, no, that's impossible because I'm too hot and I'm too good in the bedroom.
Women can sometimes, and men can never get over that betrayal.
Oh, yeah.
And that destroys a person. So you're encouraging that, and that's what I have a problem with.
We all talk about being happy and do what's best for you. And if her isn't the best thing, then yeah, he needs to go elsewhere.
Oh, wow. Okay.
When, Jackie, you're learning the new way to open up your mind.
Yeah,
Maybe you need to open your legs up more rather than your eyes.
Oh, bitch, come here.
Well, that was a very classy conversation. It's one thing to encourage people who are married or in a committed relationship to have intimacy with their partner. Like, that's a very different situation. But that's not what she's saying here. She's basically saying that, if a man in this case is in a relationship or in a marriage and he has no sex from his wife, that he should go right ahead and cheat on her with Bonnie Blue. And of course, there should be a conversation there. Like, I don't think if it's somebody that wants to have an intimate relationship with their spouse, I don't think they should just endure celibacy because their spouse doesn't want to be with them. I don't think the answer is cheating. I think there should be like an actual mature conversation and maybe just go separate ways. But if they were to cheat, I think the last person they should be cheating with is this woman. I mean, she literally slept with 1057 men in one day. Can you imagine the rampancy of the STDs in her? Let's also talk about the part where the woman on the phone is calling her a pygmy and she's like, oh, I've already been picked, just so you know. And you're talking to me from where? Your car? The audacity, the arrogance. What's funny here is that Bonnie Blue, like most modern women nowadays, or these kind of women anyway, they don't understand that men and women are quite different, especially when it comes to sexuality. Most men, if they find a woman attractive, they'll pick her to have intimacy regardless of whether they would see much more to do with her, meaning that you're not really special in order for a random man to have sex with you. It's very different with women, because if we do pick a man to have intimacy with, well, we probably find him attractive in many different ways. He is somewhat special to us. It's very different. Let's be real. If a woman that was missing an eye, no disrespect to women without eyes and maybe also a leg and an arm, posted an ad out there that she was available for random men to have sex with her, she would probably get quite a few of them to show up. The same cannot be said for a man. I mean, even if a very attractive, handsome man, more attractive than Bonnie Blue, posted an ad saying that he's available for random women to sleep with him, not as many, like nowhere near as many would show up to be with him. So I don't really know what this whole, like, I've already gotten picked, sweetheart situation is coming from. I think it's extremely unrealistic on her part and extremely pathetic, and just denotes how little she actually knows about dynamics. But it could also be that we're just reading way too much into it and she's just saying random things to go viral. In fact, that's probably the more likely option. Regarding the part that no one would cheat on her because she's too hot and good in bed, again, I think I must just be reading way too much into it and she's just saying really dumb things in order to gain attention. At least I hope so, because she must know that there are actual goddesses out there, not her, actual goddesses out there, talking Megan Fox, Jennifer Lopez, like whoever you think is like a very gorgeous celebrity, Beyonce, Candice Swanepoel, Adriana Lima. These women are all objectively hotter than this woman. Even if you don't like them, they just really are objectively hotter. They're literally models. They don't make their money from sleeping with men. They make their money just by existing because of how beautiful they are. And they've all been cheated on. Same way that many handsome, perfect guys out there have also gotten cheated on, because at the end of the day, someone's gonna cheat on you if they're gonna cheat on you. A cheater will cheat on you regardless of how hot or sexy or good in bed you are, because they're cheating precisely because they want someone else. They want something different. They're tired of you. Or maybe they're not, but they just want to be with someone else. It has nothing to do with how hot or not they are. So it really is so absurd that she would think so. And honestly, if a man ever does get into a relationship with her, he must respect her so little, and he must respect himself so little, that of course he would cheat on her. I mean, if you're dating a woman that slept with 1057 guys in 12 hours, why would you not cheat on her? Like she's literally been with 1,000 men in 12 hours. Someone else is gonna come to you and like if you have the opportunity to be with someone else, are you seriously gonna be like, no, let me not cheat on her. Let me be faithful to my girlfriend who sleeps with 1,000 men in a day for money. Like, is that someone worthy of a relationship or of commitment or fidelity? You know what? It actually makes a lot of sense that this woman thinks she's above everybody else, that she's better than everyone else, because she is right in one thing. And when she's talking to that woman that calls her on the phone and she's like, it's actually your husbands and your partners that are paying my bills and my family's bills and making me a millionaire. She is right. It's actually all these men, whether in relationships, in marriages, or single, that are paying for her lifestyle, for her millionaire lifestyle, and for her mother's lifestyle as well. We're going to see that in brief. So no wonder she thinks she's above everyone else. Just by posting some cheesy ghetto ads online, all these men show up and make her feel like she's the hottest woman in the world. Newsflash, she's not. She's just someone who's desperately available. Just for doing these kind of things, she's become a millionaire and she has all these men validating her. Of course she thinks she's above everyone else. And you know whose fault this is? All the simps. And actually, I think this goes beyond simps at this point. All the dangerous men who are paying for her content and who are showing up to this distasteful events. Of course, she has responsibility here. I'm not saying she doesn't have, but all the men that are participating in this, that are making women like this millionaires, also had to be held extremely accountable. And I will keep that message till the end. We cannot be sitting here criticizing this woman and talking about how arrogant she is and how she thinks she's above everyone else. But in fact, many of you, hopefully not you watching, but many men are partaking in this process of making her a millionaire and a celebrity. But as it tends to happen, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Let's listen to her mom.
What was it like after cleaning up after bang?
Messy. Hundreds of condoms, boxer shorts, tops, stained bed sheets, wet bed sheets.
So even when you hear, that she slept with 158 guys in 2 weeks.
It's just part of a job and that's it.
So you don't have any kind of, emotional response to it?
At first I did, but not anymore.
Bonnie, when you told your parents what you do, how did that conversation go?
I actually didn't tell her. A video got leaked. I would have always told her. I'd only just started, so I wasn't ready to explain why I've chose to do this job.
I was gutted at first, I really was. It was shock, but it was just a shock because it's something I never thought she would do.
What has Bonnie achieved doing it in your eyes?
Well, where are you going next month?
Yeah, we're going on a really nice holiday.
So her making all
She's going on a really nice holiday,
that
guys.
money, how has it affected you?
We've had nice holidays and nice gifts, but that doesn't bother me.
No.
She's happy, so I'm happy because she's happy.
Yeah, that's what she cares about, that her daughter is happy. And the holidays.
If she wasn't happy, but she's happy, she's safe, making lots of money.
Emphasis on the making lots of money. And I don't know what she means by she's safe when her daughter is literally sleeping with thousands of men without testing them for STDs, without testing their backgrounds or their psychological or emotional states, or without even knowing their real names and IDs and ages, because they could be easily lying about it. But she's very safe. On top of posting all of this online. When you wonder why Bonnie Blue acts like a whole sociopath and her eyes are just cold and she seems like she has absolutely no soul, you just have to watch her mom and you realize why. Her mom is pretty much the same. And here's the thing, if I had a daughter, God forbid, I don't think this would ever happen because I would raise my children with true values, but if I ever had a daughter come up to me and be like, Mom, I'm actually going to sleep with 100 or whatever it is, even if it's with 10 men in one day, I would actually lock her. Arrest me. I don't know what to tell you. I would lock her away. Like, there's absolutely no chance that I would let her come out. I'd be like, you're actually insane. You're going to ruin your life for money, for attention, for whatever it is. And me as your mom, because I actually love you and I don't support you unconditionally in dumb things, I'm going to lock you away and I'm going to prevent you from destroying your life. And if this woman actually cared for her child, she would do the same. Or at the very least, she would not be here managing her daughter's business, if we can call it that, and taking advantage of the profit that she's making and going off on trips and holidays and paying off her bills with this. What kind of decency does this woman have? And it's so interesting how she tries to fool everyone that she's not in it for the money, that she's not pretending to care about her daughter for the money. She's like, oh, well, like she's like saying like, oh, the money, like her eyes are literally shining. And then she catches herself showing her true colors to everyone and she pretends to care. She's like, oh wait, actually, just so you know, what I actually care about is not that my bills are paid. It's not the holidays and the gifts. It's not the Chanel bag that I got last month, but the fact that Bonnie is happy and safe. That's what I care about. Sure, mom. And to me, one of the worst things that's happening with today's society, with the degeneracy and with OF culture, is the fact that not only is it destroying individuals, I mean, we've known this for a while now, but it's actually destroying family bonds. We saw it with Kanye and Bianca. I mean, that's his wife, that's his family. He should be respecting and cherishing that woman, and she should be respecting him and cherishing him, and none of them are doing that. None of them are respecting the other. None of them hold any sort of sacred value for their marriage. And we see this with absolutely everyone nowadays. It seems like they'll sleep with each other on OF with another person just for the money, just for the attention. Marriage seems to have absolutely no sanctity nowadays. And we also see it with mothers and daughters. Like, so many content creators nowadays sleep with their moms online for money, or with their twin sisters, and God knows if it's not also with their brothers and their dads. So these people are pretty much sacrificing their own kids, their own moms, their own sisters to Satan for money and attention. But here's the thing, guys, I don't know if it's just me, I don't know if it's what I tell myself at night in order to be able to sleep, or if there's some truth to it. But at the end of the day, these people may be traveling all around the world and they may be having all these gifts, but when they go to sleep at night, deep down they know what a rotten, empty soul they are. They know how worthless they become in the process. And to me, there's absolutely no monetary value in the world that would justify that feeling. But that's just the way I see it. So I would love to see how you see it in the comment section. Please give me your likes, please comment, and please subscribe. I will see you very soon.